Ego and pride aside. I know you, but I don't know you. You know you, but do you know you? Ego and pride aside. You know me, but you don't know me. I know me, but do I know me? Ego and pride aside. I know you when you don't know you. You know me.
Like the Daisy Duke high.
Yeah.
He got them on. They rolled up, and he had a rubber band or something in the front of the hair. You know.
Oh, shit.
So I look, and I'm looking like, man, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm looking because I'm tripping.
Yeah.
And I look, and it was that individual. That individual that had that woman that had that child. Now he didn't got out here, and you know, got with a Sally who was a little more aggressive. Than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you know, basically,
yeah,
tricked him out of his gender. You know what I mean? And he accepted. Now some say, oh, it was already in him. There's a lot of individuals that go into them situations, and it's I would say to a certain extent for that world,
yeah,
it's accepted. You know what I mean? For those that accept it,
yeah.
But I don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't believe that man should be with man. It's just I don't believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What people choose is what people choose at the end of the day.
Real talk.
But in that situation, especially when it becomes a forceful
situation. It's not, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel that, you know what I'm saying, that should come about. And in that situation, I heard that it was more of a forceful type situation.
Yeah. How did that kind of woke you up a little bit?
Nah, that's you have to wake me up. For me, to each his own.
Like, damn.
They do. Nah, it was just a trip, just to see a person, you know, that you're talking to, then all of a sudden you go see him again, and he took on the role as a woman. Yeah, he took on the role as a woman.
Sometimes it's good to be grateful. And you know.
So it's just, you know, just looking at them certain situations to where a person can go in to where he's saying, truthfully, I'm a man, I'm 100% man. But then all of a sudden, you either see or you hear, you know what I'm saying, that he's in a full blown out relationship.
Yeah.
And we ain't talking about when he's going to the visiting room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's, you know, or you see situations like this to where I've been in his day room, you know, playing cards, see, you know, because any sound that take place, you always gonna look. Whether it's wheels rolling, sound of a clinking, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? You ain't one of them individuals where you hear construction or you hear a jackhammer going, oh, it's just a jackhammer. Now, any noise that's out of the norm, you're looking, you're paying attention. So I in the day room, and guys pushing the mop bucket to his room to go clean his cell. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you hear the mop bucket hit against something. You hear the mop thing slam down, but he ain't there. Somebody snatched him in the room.
Damn.
You hear the scuffling up there.
Yeah.
But he ain't no strong individual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And before you know it, you wondering what's going on because everybody's still playing cards.
Yeah.
But you look up, all of a sudden you see him bail out of his room into another room.
Damn.
You know, into his room. Bail out of his room and back into his room. You already know what happened. You know what I mean? Or you have the guys that lay on you that play as if they know your people. But they just, all they do is be observant or overhear you on the phone.
Just paying attention.
Just paying attention.
Yeah.
So you might use some names on the phone. All of a sudden they play into that. Because one thing, they're so scared to be in there. Because like I say, they'll sniff out fear on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when you're in there, so much attention. It's hell attention. You know what I mean? Come on, you got a whole bunch of men. Yeah. Attention, testosterone, however you want to call it, how you want to describe it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
because there's some people, like I play sports, there's some people that they won't even touch basketball court in prison, in jail. Yeah. You know, it's just automatically conflict.
Yeah,
they're playing basketball, they're doing sports. Mm-hmm. You know, how is that in prison? Just the athletic playing basketball.
For me, I would say I lift more weights than anything. Yeah. I did play basketball, but with the whole basketball thing, unless you know that a guy is 100%, you know what I'm saying, on the straight type path, you know what I'm saying, that's where it's at. If you got any idea that this cat might be indulging in that other thing, you don't want him sticking, you don't want him trying to body. For me, that's how I
know. I still, somebody hitting you on the backside, good job,
good job. We don't play no good games, no good jobs, none of that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to get no misinterpretations whatsoever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, some cats, they play sports. Some people play cards. Some people, you know what I'm saying? They draw, they get into whatever activity that they get into. But in some situations, all some people do is just tell stories all day of what they used to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they thrive off it and they celebrate it. And then some people, they're telling stories and it's all lies. Yeah. Because you may be sitting with an individual, you know this individual, and you know this individual, you know how he was really living out there. But he didn't came in here and built this big old image up. You know what I mean? Or you have the individuals that was basically not, I would say not anybody, but they wasn't
who they portraying themselves to be while they're in jail.
But they actually created an image inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got swole up. You know what I mean? Got the conversation.
Beat a couple people up.
Beat a couple people up.
And all of a sudden, they the heads of gangs and leaders of
absolutely
groups.
Absolutely. But that was them as far as in there. But out in society, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel. Some people, you know what I'm saying, they feel like, man, I'm nothing out here. But when I go in there, everybody know me.
So do you think that just having that mindset of having no fear, it allows you that transition for you to be to reach your full potential when you get out? Because it's amazing how some people may not have fear and they can be in those environments, but once they get out, you know, they really don't know how to there's no transferable skills whatsoever.
It's real hard. Yeah.
They can be an intimidator. Mm-hmm. You know, they could be an intimidator in those spaces, but they're so easily intimidated when it comes to just trying to make it work for them outside.
Out in society. Yeah. Because you got to think about it. Inside there, everything is basically done for you. From the time they tell you to get up, from the time they tell you to go eat, the time they tell you to go to the yard, you know what I'm saying? Everything is structured for you. When you're out in the free world, oh yeah, it's time for you to move now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You at the wheel. You at the wheel. It ain't no pop the gate and now you can come out. You know what I mean? When you open that door to go outside, when you're in the free world, you turn in that key or turn in that latch in order for you to walk outside. Now it ain't the guy in the booth, you know what I'm saying, popping the door, talking about mainline and you can go. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. As far as like, you know, people inside, I just always beat the door up.
What do you mean beat the door up? What do you mean?
Man, it's like when they know how they rack your door open, it was you bet for me or just people. We made sure shoes was on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you was up before. You know what I'm saying? That door was popped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You was ready to go. You done already knocked out your 100+ push-ups, whatever the case may be.
What's some of the reasons why you gotta be ready to go?
Man, you just want your blood flowing because you never know when there's a situation to where somebody can run up in your cell, or just whatever the case may be. It was always about being on point. You know what I mean? So just imagine you have to be on point on a regular basis because you don't. And then if a race war or anything jumped out or a riot or something like that, you guys got to be prepared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be prepared. So it's not like when you're out on the streets to where if it's something going on over here, you can be way over here out the way. Nah, when you confined in that space, you involved. You know what I mean? It ain't no ducking it. You know what I mean? Ain't no ducking it. Ain't no, I was locked in my cell.
Or I was doing push-ups in the corner.
Or whatever the case may be. Or I didn't see you, or whatever the case may be. Nah, that better not happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or you'll be checking in. Yeah. You know what I mean? You supposed to, when it's time to get down, and it's about riding about, you know, the cars, you have the ride. He ain't my friend.
Yeah.
I don't know him. Nah, it ain't none of that. It ain't none of that. Nah, you better not say none of that. You know what I mean? So it's just what I'm saying as far as like, you know, you being your own man or you doing what you want to do and you want to control your life. You know what I'm saying? You don't control your life up in there. And then you say to yourself, what type of life is that for an individual? You know what I'm saying? They're saying, I'm my own man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a leader. I'm a king. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to have a life like that and to say you're all these things, but now you got the man in there, you know what I'm saying? Telling you when to eat, when to shower, when to move, you know what I'm saying? What to do, you know what I'm saying? You can't go past certain lines because it's called out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? You out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? So you got a certain time to eat, certain time to shower. You know what I'm saying? All these things, all these restraints on you. It's even for me, for all the time that I did, I remember it was, you know what I'm saying, I ended up getting a house. And over a period of time, I ended up buying a house. And I was not going outside, really. Or I wouldn't even go into the backyard. I had a big yard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big backyard. And I had to, like,
self-check when you got out?
Yeah, when I got out. I had to self-check myself. Like,
yeah.
Man, I got all this yard. I'm not even going outside.
I think I might be totally different. I was like, I can't be inside. Like, I
was
always
used to the confinement.
I'm so, like, I'll go everywhere. And maybe, you know, and then just come back. But I'm totally opposite. Like,
I was inside because I was
don't
so
like
zoned
being
in.
Inside.
I was so zoned in as far as what I need to do, and I just didn't, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't there, you know, as far as just that whole freedom thing. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. Even when because I had to go through the work release program, and it was good that I went through the work release program because things was moving. You got to think about it. I came to where nobody had a cell phone that I know of.
But then all of a sudden you came from no
when
cell
I came
phone
back, when I came back, man, even kids had cell phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the technology was moving so fast. Like, you know, people talk about filling out applications on paper.
Yeah.
They were talking about do online. You know what I mean? Everything was online. And we all know that some places they don't have the, you know, the computer classes up in there. You know what I mean? They might have a basic, you know what I'm saying, typing class or something like that, but you don't got access to no internet or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And the books don't give you what you necessarily need or anything like that.
How was the transition?
For me, the transition, I set goals. You know what I mean? So some of my basic goals was get my license, make sure I had a full-time job, a gym membership, and a bank account.
Yeah.
And transportation along the way. You know what I mean? And then with all that, you know what I'm saying, I had to, get paroled to a person's address and so forth. So that basically was taken care of. But one thing I did know is how expensive it is to live when you're out.
Yeah.
It's out in the world.
Provided food, hot food,
everything's provided for you. You should, in there, you work for 35 cents an hour.
Damn.
Equivalent to like $40 a month. You know what I mean? But inside you make it work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially if you ain't got nobody sending you something from the out. And then a lot of people, they're not sending you. People's not getting packaged. Everybody's not getting packages. Yeah. Clothes packages, food packages. They surviving strictly off of 3 meals that the people give you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if they doing whatever they have to do in order, you know what I'm saying, to get the extra rations. But at that time, and point, you know, as far as just me coming up with a plan as far as when I got out and so forth and so on. Money, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not really dealing in currency besides when you go get the vending machines. But I said to myself, as long as I get a job that paid me $10 an hour.
Damn.
That's what I said. Because all I did was did the math.
Yeah.
$10 an hour times 2 weeks, whatever it is, weekly. But I'm not including, you know what I'm saying, the rent,
the bills,
gas, you know, all these things. You know what I mean? So once I realized the cost of living, and then within that time, you know what I'm saying, I had my son and everything like that. And lucky I had a good woman that, you know what I'm saying, she had a good job and things like that. She kind of gauged me on, you know what I'm saying, on certain things and credit. And I learned all about credit because I was a guy that always tried to deal in cash.
Yeah.
But I figured out that cash don't mean nothing when they got them 3 digits, you know what I'm saying, as far as your credit score and things like that. And, you know, then when you have a felony and things like, you know, certain jobs, you know what I'm saying, they just turn and walk away from you. You know what I mean? You just wasn't getting in like that. So, but for me, I had that, you know what I'm saying, I'm always in, you know, I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to win. I'm going to continue to strive, you know what I'm saying, until I get to where, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I'm making that progress or that movement. So with that, you know what I'm saying, I started just telling myself, man, you ain't inside no more. I had to get inside my own head because it is like a trauma.
Yeah.
It's like a trauma. Oh yeah, it's a trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it affects you, But I feel like you have to be mentally, you know what I'm saying? You have to be mentally strong as far as keeping your mind. Because one thing I will say, when I was in the cell, I had that memory, you know what I'm saying, of how things were.
Yeah.
And another thing that I was thinking about, I didn't have conversation with guys to where they ain't even never experienced a relationship or
What?
never even laid with a female before.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to
Damn,
have,
that's deep.
yeah, they was
Yeah,
like,
that's kind of like
you know,
deep.
so they
probably went to jail when they was really younger.
Yeah, they got some guys went to jail when. Just imagine, I went when I was 20, got out when I was 35.
Yeah.
Imagine individuals that went when they were 13 or 14 and they didn't get out until they was 40. Or imagine individuals furthermore to where they didn't went back when they was 19 to where they got out to where they got out when they're 50s, 60s. Then you have the guys that basically are not getting out. You know what I mean? And I can remember because I was, eventually I wanted to start lifting weights. I didn't lift weights for the first, I say, year or two. Mm-hmm. I just did a lot of calisthenics. You know what I'm saying? And I was walking the yard because I'm about to start working out and everything. I'm walking with this guy, and for whatever reason, I was like, we talking and stuff, and I said, so when you get out, he said, I ain't never getting out. Damn. So I said, in my little 15 years, this man ain't never getting out. You know what I mean? Yeah. He said he ain't never getting out. So what he was saying, in other words, is that he got a dark date. Yeah. He gonna die in here. Yeah. And last I heard on his condition, he, you know what I'm saying, he was heading that direction. You know what I mean? As far as, you know what I'm saying, ready to go. Like, I think he got sick up in here or something like that. But, you know what I mean? Them are the type of stories and things that people need to tell as far as, being inside there, to where if you don't got no kids, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to have kids. You know what I mean? Anything that you had as far as memory that you had of the streets, it's just going to be the memories at that current point. You know what I mean? So if you went in when you was 13, went in when you was 18, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it, I didn't have none of my 20s. Yeah. So when people talk about 20 years old and what they was doing and so forth and so on, I didn't have none of that. Yeah. But one thing I'm not trying to do is relive like I am 20. Yeah, for real. Nah, I'm not trying to relive like I'm 20. You know what I'm saying? My age is my age. I'm in good shape, for my age and things like that. But I'm not trying to do what the youngsters is doing. You know what I mean? Or trying to make it as if, because I've been inside, you know what I'm saying? I'm some type of OG or, or I didn't done that. I didn't live that. Nah, it's experience, you know what I'm saying? That hopefully, in my eye, I ain't never got to experience again. Yeah. It's something that I done filed away. You know what I mean? And I didn't learn from it. And with that, now I'm going to grow from it. You know what I mean? And then my thing is, and which I don't understand, is how some men will try to allow their kids and egg them on to walk in their same footsteps. Man, I ain't nowhere in the world I want my son to go through near as what I went through. Yeah, for real. From the streets to up there in the pen. Yeah. I don't want my son to experience that. Yeah. Because basically it's a road to nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, we only got one life. And I always say that. We got one life. And for me, I experienced it, but that one life, a part of life, I don't want nobody to basically experience that. Because like I say, you just basically like, you know what I'm saying? You're walking dead at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it's just a situation. And I just want to let, individuals know and the people know there ain't no glory in that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we all know, you know what I mean? When we talk about that life, it's that life that them are the directions that you can go. It's either going to be one way or the other. If you want that to be your retirement plan, so be it. If that's what you want to do and that's what you choose to do. Which one thing that I did recognize is that individuals that actually portray and act like that, oh man, yeah, I've been to the pen, so forth and so on. A lot of them individuals with stress cases up in there. Man, stressing. What you mean? Man, they were stressing. They, you know what I'm saying? Behind closed doors, they're really telling you how they really feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They really couldn't do time. Some people really couldn't do no time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were just put in them situations and they stressing themselves out. And a lot of times they're stressing you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're constantly complaining about the food. I remember the guy, he complained about the food. I said, come on, man, we eat this on the same day at the same type of food on this very day.
Yeah. So
what is there complaining about? You know what I mean? We here now. You know what I mean? So they're complaining about the food. They're going through, just the transition period as far as doing time. And they're not understanding that this is what it is and this is where you're going to be. But is this actually how you want to spend the rest of your life? That's why I say when a person came in, he was young, I was like, man, go out there, man, and live.
Yeah.
Because now I wasn't that youngster no more.
Mm-hmm.
I was that OG that they call, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, when they come to the joint, one thing is to say, they say, hey, man, if I want to get right, man, and get
when you
swole.
Say get right, what you mean?
You want to get a swole on. You want to get his buff on.
Yeah.
He had like a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
They said, man, who should I go talk to? They said, hey, man, go talk to the dude right there. He get down. You know what I'm saying? And they'll point me out to the dude to come to me. And I tell them straight up, man, you got 3 days of miss, legitimate days. After that, you know what I'm saying, you're on your own. Because I get in the zone, I'm in a routine. So, you know what I'm saying? Some guys that come in, they, some people say, oh, I'm going to go to prison, I'm going to get swole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to get swole up when I go to prison, whatever the case may be. And some people, they come in and they get the knowledge and they end up making something of themselves or they learn something. Yeah. But there's a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? It's just like when it comes to the rich and the poor. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's more poor than it is rich. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that's in there messing off. There is people that's really taking something from prison life and getting out there and doing something with their life at the end of the day. They want to see something different in their life. You know what I mean? So it's experience that you go through, but never just try to make it like it's something to glory. It's something to glorify. It's something to glorify. Because it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of wasted time. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got to experience it. It's a whole lot of wasted time. And it's coming from an individual that been there. Not me just giving you my opinion on what I think it is. I've been there. So I know the thoughts, you know what I'm saying, that, people think about. I know the things that they go through.
Because any particular justification of somebody might go to prison because they might, people might be in a financial or poverty situation. It could be a place where somebody has to defend themselves and their life. Property,
I mean, it's the law of the land.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, they got basically a printout or a readout of whatever a crime is.
Yeah.
And in some situations, you can't help it. You know what I mean? And you have to go. But for a person to say that they want to go to prison, or whatever the case may be. For me, I just accepted the fact of what I was doing. This is what it led to.
Yeah.
But to say, I don't think anybody want to go.
Nobody wants to go to prison.
Nah, nobody wants to go. But some people, they got to understand that was the highlight of their life.
It's their prison life.
It's their prison life. It's the highlight. Yeah. I was somebody. I felt like somebody.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, when you come out to the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't. None of that's transferable.
It's not transferable.
It's not transferable from the streets. It's not transferable to the penitentiary. And then when you're around people, you're like a whole different person.
You're a whole different person.
Yeah.
Unless you allow it to work for you in a way as far as a betterment for you and those that surround you, as far as your kids. Because what it does do for you, it will give you like a strong structure. Mm-hmm. If you go in there on that type of time.
And you're structured in there.
And you're structured in there. Just gives you that discipline, I would say. That discipline. So now if you got that discipline in that small area, mm-hmm. just imagine the discipline that you have once you come up out of that situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think for me, I've always been real organized and so forth and so on. So for me, now I see more of the world. You know what I mean? Because there's a time I wouldn't even fly. You know what I mean?
Oh, like Mr. T.
Yeah, I wouldn't even fly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or I didn't even think about the world in itself. Yeah. There's a whole big old world out there, man. And I say for anybody that wants to, you know what I'm saying, live a life and enjoy life, you know what I'm saying, do so.
Yeah.
And make the best of it. But I know that we're going on and on about this. I hope that somebody takes my experience and my opinion on things as far as how I viewed it and how I seen it. I didn't cover everything, but I just tried to give you some insight on how I viewed it and how I seen it, and as far as my transition through life and to the point of where I'm at right now. And I'm not done yet. You know what I mean? I'm still growing. I'm still moving.
Would you like to give any message to somebody that's in prison? Like if people was in prison and they listened to what this little podcast or this little this conversation.
I don't look at it as anything that's little. Anything that you got to do, you got to think of
on a higher level. Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at it as little, you don't take it serious.
Yeah.
My thing is, I know that in life as men, we don't touch everybody. Mm-hmm. My thing is, I want somebody, to listen to this and take the good out of it. You know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying? Take that, what I said and transition and hope that it helps them, you know what I'm saying, in the long run. And for those that haven't been there and those that, if you're in that life and you're headed there, hopefully, if you are, you don't end up in the boneyard, but you end up to the iron yard and you get that opportunity to shape and turn your life, you know what I'm saying, in a direction to where you can prosper in life or you can make some of your life. Or then now individuals have kids, so you can help them and they don't have just that gap in their life of, not having a father, you know what I'm saying, or an uncle, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it may be. So what I'm going to say to anybody, give yourself a chance. You know what I mean? Just give yourself a chance and allow yourself, you know what I'm saying, to live this one life, because you only got one life that we know of.
Real tough.
But other than that, man, I'm out. This is Gant.
It's KD.
He was quiet today.
Yeah.
But we're going to catch him on another one.
I know you, but I don't know you. You know you, but do you know you? Ego and pride aside. You know me, but you don't know me. I know me, but do I know me? Ego and pride aside. I know you when you don't know you. You know me and I don't know me. That voice in your head been heard for a long time. Artificially a mystery in your own mind. In the core, which you always hit you with the calm trash. Developing the issue with some shit you could've walked past. All that raw math, long ass idling. Tribal shit when your mind's your best survival kit. At war with yourself, arguing with the barber dude. You your own worst enemy, sabotaging you. Voices and choices, don't drink the poison. Poised and wise, defining your own ordinance. Boys to men coming into your own consciousness. Waking up, finding yourself finally on top of shit. Ego and pride aside. I know you, but I don't know you. You know you, but do you know you? Ego and pride aside. You know me, but you don't know me. I know me, but do I know me? Ego and pride aside. I know you and you don't know you. You know me and I don't know me. Ego and pride aside.